It's Hi everyone. It is me, Jordan Long here, or Jordan Mulan Long here. And today I want to talk about, you know, dealing with Paulie Dangerously, or also known as Paul Heyman, you know, and how that tends to go like. Because a lot of folks have a lot of beliefs about him. A lot of folks say that, oh, he lies about things. You can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. You know, and what a lot of folks tend to say is, oh, well, he was a good booker, he was a good writer. He didn't really know how to run a business right, you know, and how that goes down. Goes down like, oh, Paulie Dangerously. Yes, that's what I was known by many years ago when I first started in the wrestling business. Oh, I just want to say that a lot of folks say a lot of things about you, but so none of them can't be true. Oh, there are folks that say all kinds of things about folks. You have no running lead over that kind of a thing. Yeah, 'cause a lot of folks like to say, oh, you lie about things, you can't be trusted, you know. And, a lot of folks like to say, hey, you were a good booker, you were a good writer, even though a lot of them like to say that you didn't really have a hand on running a business. Like, yeah, a lot of folks will say that I was a good booker and a good writer, and I guess I was, Jordan. And a lot of folks out there always like to say things like, oh, well, if you knew how to run the wrestling business right, ECW would still be around. Well, I don't really know if it would have been around or not. You know, the big bind that ECW had to overcome and never could truly overcome, at least during Todd Gordon's ownership and later on mine, is that we were a small wrestling business, that we couldn't make the same kind of gold, that other bigger wrestling businesses could make. And then when you can't make gold to yield anyone that you owe gold to, then that's when a big bind, happened. You know. Well, yeah, I guess that is true, Paul. That can happen. And I guess that's what happened in ECW, was that the gold was never there. Yes, we do know that WWF, now WWE, had a working deal with ECW from now between 96 YL to 2001 YL, which led to WWF WWE owning it. You know. Yeah, that's true, alright. And any gal that they were giving us, or any wrestlers that we were working with, or they were being called up, either it didn't do as much to help us as you would think. At the end of the day, ECW had a good lifetime, and a lot of folks know me for that. Well, ask me if this is true about you or not. Do you have sleeplessness? Oh, which kind are we talking about? Flow sleeplessness or early waking? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I got flow sleeplessness. Had it for years. And the only way I ever seen to overcome it was by taking sleep help. Yeah. Is that true or not? Who knows? It could be true, could not be true. You know. Hey, I just want to say that I always onlooked you for what you did in the skilled wrestling business, working in the AWA and MACW, WCW, and ECW, and what you did in WWF and WWE. And getting into the Hall of Onlook, that was a big deal. Yes, it was a big deal. Very few folks, that non wrestlers, to ever get put in the Hall of Honor, like, it was a big deal. I mean, yes, it was a big deal for Stu Hart and Verne Gagne, both again, former wrestling business owners and former wrestlers themselves. Yes, it was a big deal for Eric Bischoff to be in there. And I'd say it was a big deal for me as well. But I gotta be going now. Hey, it was good talking to you. Well, it was good talking to you too. Well, that was me with Paulie Dangerously, or as some folks might know him from his first run in WWF WWE and his two-diff run as Paul Heyman. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you later.